You're programmed to see vehicles. You're not programmed to see a motorcycle.
Whenever there's a dispute about liability, the number one thing we're going to get was headlight wasn't on.
You take that gamble and it's not worth it.
But we've got to remember, we've got to stay diligent, because if you do fall and you are not wearing proper boots, you're not wearing your helmet, you're not wearing long sleeves, bad things can happen.
So I think when people come from out of state, it's kind of like people feel very strongly either way they want to wear it or they don't want to wear it.
As you forget to put your helmet on, you forget to wear gloves, long pants.
99% of the time when a rider's not wearing their helmet, they're going to suffer a brain injury.
Hey everybody, it's Rainey Romero with the lovely law firm. You are watching the Carolina Justice Report, and today we're talking about the 5 things that bikers need to know for the Myrtle Beach Spring Rally. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So I am being joined by attorneys Justin Lovely, Sarah Austin, and Sharday Crawford. How are we doing today?
Pretty good.
So we
great.
are gearing up for Bike Week coming up. This is something that we do. We're always heavily involved in the motorcycle community, but we're always excited for Bike Week. But the past, I guess it's more prevalent to me the past few years because that's when I've been more involved. But bikers have been going down like crazy. We do our accident scene management classes as like a way to really try to push safety and help as many bikers from going down as possible, and knowledge of what to do when and if they go down. But we have our top 5 tips for people who are either locals or visiting. The first one being wearing proper safety gear. So Justin, tell us what some safety gear would be.
Well, before we get into that, I just want to say how proud we are, and you've been a part of it, you ladies have been a part of it, are these accident scene management classes that we've taught during this off season.
Yep.
And I think we've got over 100 motorcyclists trained. They're all local. We did one in Columbia. We've got another one in a couple weeks before the official season starts. So I'm proud about that. We also sponsored a few charity rides. We sponsored that Horry County Disabilities ride. And so real proud about that. And so and of course at all those events that everyone sees us at, we're trying to give our safety book and get more people signed up for the ASM classes. But going into riding season, of course, we're going to be back at the Beaver Bar. That's where we've been for the last several years. We're going to be posted up. We're sponsoring the bands down there with Leslie. We'll have our people, swag teams down there. I'll be down there. Sarah will be down there. Sharday, you're going to have a shift. I haven't told you yet, but you'll be down there. And of course, Rainey's going to be down there. But we're going to be down there. It's going to be pumped. So what we want to do today is just give everybody a primer. This is stuff everybody probably already knows, but let's talk about these top 5 things. Okay. So what did you just ask me? What was the clothing, right?
Tell me, it's a quiz. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, safety gear. Wearing the proper safety gear.
Right. And people always forget about this. I'm a big person who forgets about this. You forget to put your helmet on. You forget to wear gloves, long pants, bright colored clothing. Those are the things that you can't forget about, right? And so, what you're going to hear us talk about is, your helmet, right? It's a big debate. You've seen our other videos. Wear your helmet. Okay, we're proponents of wearing a helmet. We're injury lawyers, and one of the big injuries that we see with motorcycle accidents in our motorcycle docket is severe road rash and head injuries, and that comes from not wearing your helmet and not wearing the proper attire.
Yeah, and also long sleeve and boots, right? Proper footwear.
Gloves, boots. I think I shot a video 6 years ago in my tennis shoes because I just chipped on my motorcycle, and everybody was like, "What the hell, Justin? You're not wearing your boots. You're not wearing good shoes." But we always forget, right? We just say, "Hey, it's a good day outside. Let's jump on here and take the motorcycle out." But we've got to remember, we've got to stay diligent, because if you do fall and you are not wearing proper boots, you're not wearing your helmet, you're not wearing long sleeves, bad things can happen.
Well, and helmet laws change from state to state, right?
Yeah.
And here, it used to be optional or required?
Well,
Go ahead.
You
still don't have to wear a helmet in South Carolina, which I think...
Unless you're under 21.
Right, unless you're under 21. So I think when people come from out of state, it's kind of like people feel very strongly either way they want to wear it or they don't want to wear it. My mom always says, motorcyclists don't have to wear their helmet. Why do I have to wear my seatbelt? And I'm like, Mom, you need to buckle up. Same with my dad, though. But the helmet is like the most important of your safety gear.
Right.
And I know we have a whole nother podcast on brain injuries and how they can be so devastating. But 99% of the time when a rider's not wearing their helmet, they're going to suffer a brain injury. And I'll see riders come back from horrible, leg surgeries and reconstructions, and they're walking and they get back on the bike. But when you get a brain injury because you're not wearing your helmet, that's when your life as you know it is very different because it's very hard to heal from. So please wear your helmet for sure.
Yes. Oh, scary, scary stuff. All right, number 2 is to follow traffic rules and regulations. What would this mean, Sarah? I'll start with you.
Follow all the traffic rules. I know that, the local law enforcement and the cities, and we're trying to change some of the traffic rules, change some of the traffic patterns to make Bike Week safer, and that's by design so that it will be safer. So follow all those rules, even if they are annoying and they cause, clusters of traffic. It's really important that you follow those rules and keep yourself safe.
One we see a lot with bikers when they get here of them kind of weaving through traffic, right, Sade?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Dipping in and out of traffic, it makes it harder for individuals who are in cars to look out for you.
True. Yep. So riding on the shoulder, going through the middle lanes, going in and out of traffic. And a lot of times, bikers can get kind of risky with the speed limit and go on racing with each other and all that stuff too. I think that happens a lot of times more with the sports bikes than the Harley bikes, but these are all things that we don't want you to do for your own safety. So again, whether you are local or you're traveling from out of town, it's crazy during Bike Week. I mean, there's so many people that at any given time, if you are weaving through traffic and another car is changing lanes or something, I mean, very, very serious stuff there. Have we ever done anything like that? Cases?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, all these outside police agencies come into town, right? And so there's a heavy police presence here, and it's for everybody's safety. But they're going to catch you if you're doing that. And we help bikers too. So if you get any kind of traffic violation, anything like that, reckless driving, don't think, oh my God, they caught me. Always plead not guilty. Give us a call. Let us try to work it out for you. We'll be able to help you out. But the highway patrol is going to be out there. They're going to get them from all across the state. They come into town. It's for everybody's safety. There's going to be traffic. The road's blocked, because they need ambulances to be able to get in and out different places if they got to get there quick. So just be aware of that.
Right. Well, because here's the thing. I mean, Justin, you stand up a lot for biker injustice as far as bikers that are maybe doing the right thing and following all the rules, but it's still, you're still at high risk with
that's a good
like
point.
This.
And what we'll see is there'll be like teams of officers, and they might see, maybe one officer sees the first guy and you're riding in a pack, maybe you got 5 of you, and they don't give a shit. They're just going to give everybody a ticket, right? And so we get that a lot. We'll get the first guy says, well, my friend was driving recklessly, popping a wheelie. They pull us all over and give us all tickets, right? The good news is if you prepay that and plead guilty, it's going to go on your traffic record. A lot of times we can go to court because these cops are from out of town. They're not going to show up and get dismissed for you. So always give us a call before if anything like that happens.
That makes sense. All right, number 3 is being aware of your surroundings. It sounds simple enough, but especially again, if you're traveling from out of town, you don't know the road conditions, you don't know where the potholes are, where, there's tricky intersections, all that good stuff. So being aware of the surroundings. Justin, what would you say are some of the more, serious, dangerous
everybody's coming from out of town, right? We get a lot of bikers from Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. They'll come and trailer their motorcycles down here. They put the trailer up and they'll go on these long rides, right? And we've seen last year, potholes like you just mentioned. You're riding down, you don't know the roads. Our roads are terrible in South Carolina, and you hit one of those, boom, you can drop it in a second. The bigger issue too is also these bridge interchanges too. Like, so you're going down towards Market Common, that's a bad one. I think there were like 4 or 5 accidents during last Bike Week where they just hit that bridge transition. There's no warning, and boom, the motorcycle falls.
Oof.
So it's that's bad news right there.
And I think also pedestrians are kind of overlooked during Bike Week, but we've got more pedestrians struck, and that's riders who are at the bars crossing the street, or riders who hit pedestrians in the roadway, because it's not just bikers who are down enjoying Bike Week. People are walking all over the place.
Right.
So just be aware of your surroundings in general. Look out for people. Look out for yourself and other cars.
And there's more than bikes down here. I mean, what's the other festival up in Little River? Is that the Shrimp?
Blue Crab Festival.
Blue Crab's going at the same time. So we've got all these tourists. That's really the first kickoff of the summer season.
Yeah.
Is that week, then Bike Week, and then it's full go in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
So So everybody's down here. They haven't been down here like us locals, the whole season, and it's just a conglomerate of people, and then accidents can happen.
And then what's so prevalent here is the influx of tourism. They're all like condensed in these places. So down in the inlet on the March Walk, you have all of these restaurants and these bars. So people are walking and crossing the street. On Ocean Boulevard, same thing. Even if they put up a traffic pattern, there's just so many tourists right there crossing the street, driving their vehicles, and it's congested. And so it's just it's less safe. And so you have to be really careful in these areas here.
In general, for a car driving, let alone, obviously your risk goes way up as a motorcyclist. So I think there was a like a viral video that came out last season. Justin, you may have to help me remember this because I think you helped post it. But a vehicle like rolled over a bike on Ocean Boulevard. Like the bike was stopped at a stoplight.
Everybody jumped out. Everybody that was standing there at the hotels jumped out and literally picked the car up off the motorcycle.
Right.
Yeah.
So things like that are always scary too. I mean,
And
the
it
bike
was low
is
speed,
not doing anything.
low speed crash. It happens in an instant,
Yeah.
So always got to be aware, hyper vigilant.
I think right now, ABATE, which is a motorcycle legislation group, they're really trying to hit the yield signs. Apparently, there's a lot of accidents happening with yield signs, failure to yield, I should say, where bikers are really getting the brunt of accidents for those yield signs. And then also, we know about the deadly left-hand turn. What is that, Justin?
Well, the number one cause of motorcycle accidents is the left-hand turn. That's simply because if they're merging or they're turning left, the average driver's brain is just they just don't pick it up. You're programmed to see vehicles. You're not programmed to see a motorcycle, right? So that's why we always recommend riding a pack if you can. Don't ride alone because you just won't see it, right? You'll just merge or you'll turn left and take out the biker. The yield sign, same thing. They just don't, their brain, they could be looking right at it. They're just not trained to pick it up. It's a phenomenon. So riding a pack, again, go back to wearing the bright clothing.
Yeah.
Hope you have loud pipes. Some people complain about that, but that's what they're in there for.
Yeah.
So you can hear them coming.
It's kind of leading into the next topic of maintenance, but make sure all your lights are working before you come down.
Yeah. When I had taken a rider's course at one point, and it was kind of like one guy said that every time he stops, he pumps his brakes to make the back brake light kind of blink so people could see that. But things like that I think are really helpful to just try and do. But yes, we'll go into maintaining your bike, which is number 4. So just making sure your tires are good, it's working properly. Justin, you know more about that stuff.
You definitely got to check your tires, right? Make sure they're not old, they're not dry rotted, right? Especially if you've got an old motorcycle that you've kept stored, probably if you've had winterized. We've had actually a very mild winter, so a lot of people have just been riding the whole time. But make sure it's taken care of. I just had to change my tires front and back. Make sure your oil's changed, right? Check your clutch, check all your fluids. And then
your headlight is probably the number one, because talk about biker prejudice in civil lawsuits, right? Whenever there's a dispute about liability, the number one thing we're going to get was headlight wasn't on. If it was even a little bit dark, headlight wasn't on. And that's why we didn't see you.
That's interesting.
And so 99% of the time the headlight's working fine, and we can prove that with photos. So afterwards, if you are in an accident, take a photo of your bike with the light on.
Yep.
You never know how important that's going to be later.
Yeah.
But definitely double check headlights, making sure they all work. And if you are involved in something, know that that's going to be important later, because they're going to throw that right at you. The insurance company's going to throw that at you before they even see anything.
Should they drive with their lights on all the time? The headlights?
The headlight comes on when you start the motorcycle.
Oh, so it's
But the issue is if you haven't been driving it at night and you go out for bike week, maybe you say, hey, let's go down to the Marsh Walk tonight, and you get going, right? And then you haven't checked it and your light's out, that could be an issue.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
We had to hire an expert on a case just like that. I mean, they did not. Well, first they were wanting to pay him a pittance, right? And I was like, no, we want all the policy. And then magically this defense said, well, his headlight wasn't on, so we didn't see him. We literally had to hire an expert, pay another $5,000 in cost just to get an expert and say, no, that light was on.
Yeah.
And it was a pain. So double check it so we don't have to come down that issue if we go down that path.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, our number 5, which again, you would think this would be common sense, but stay sober. So, Sade, I'll let you start with this one.
Don't drink and drive. I mean, you would think that is common sense.
Right.
But when you're down here and you're trying to have a good time, and like I said, so many of our tourist areas are just congested with bars and restaurants, you take that gamble and it's not worth it. One, for your safety, but for the safety of others.
And just if you're going to drink, you're going to have a good time, don't ride your motorcycle that night. You're here all week.
Right. Yeah.
You're here all week. You don't want to waste your week and waste your life, dealing with that. And it's bad. And everybody's down there drinking a beer and jumping on there.
Uber, Lyft,
There you
ride
go.
with your friends. There's something. Somebody be the DD. Anything is better than getting on that bike or even in a car.
You're already at risk on the motorcycle, and so when you're drinking and driving your motorcycle, you double at risk. So,
And it's kind of a community responsibility too. If you have your significant other or your friends or even the bar, now that we have these dram shop cases, it's kind of everybody's responsibility to make sure that people are not being overserved, right?
yeah, look out for each other.
So those are our top 5. Do we have anything else that we want to say?
We're going to have number 6. You got to come and see us and sign up for our motorcycle giveaway. Right?
That's right.
Get our new books, get all our new swag, 100% all new stuff this year. If you came and saw us last year, come back. We got souvenir t-shirts while they last, right?
Yes, we
Yep.
do.
We got all that, and you'll see me, you'll see Rainey, you'll see Sarah, you'll see Sade, and Amy might make an appearance as well. So.
Yep. And going back to the accident scene management classes, I mean, that is like one of, if not the most important things that you should be doing as you're gearing up for riding season, is to make sure that you know everything that you should be knowing. They really do a great job in those, as well as going over different road conditions and what you should be doing if roads look a certain way, if they're kind of sketchy. I mean, we had was it the combat vets, that we did a trauma kit giveaway to. They came down, we met them, they were the Triangle chapter, but they had multiple people go down within a month. And they recently had somebody else go down, and they had asked us a tire popped, right? And so they were asking kind of some things that they should do. So Justin always says if something does happen, you want to preserve as much of the evidence as possible, right?
100%.
And the helmet, the tire.
Keep everything.
Yeah.
Don't let the insurance company take it from you. Take as many pictures, figure out who those witnesses are. Let us know if we're going to represent you so we can lock down their statements. Because you can never not preserve enough. Anything that we can keep, let's keep it.
And if you're riding with your friends or in a group, like we suggest, look out for them if they go down. Take pictures, as friends, get in there, document everything. 'Cause it's going to help later.
These are important things for you guys to know. You need to be prepared if something happens, safety-wise or just knowledge-wise, and that's what these accident scene management classes are for. They're really great, and we can do it for your whole group, or we have individual ones as well, so you can reach out to us if you are curious about those. Thank you guys for chatting today.
We appreciate it.
We're pumped about the spring rally coming up, and of course we'll be out there for the fall rally in the fall as well, so we hope to see you guys. Thanks for watching the Carolina Justice Report today. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. We're everywhere that you consume your social media. And of course, you can visit us online at justiceislovely.com. Thanks. We'll see you next time.